Worst high-carb foods killing your energy. This will blow your mind because it's not what you think. Let me explain. Sugar in the brain is called dementia. Sugar in the cells is called cancer. Sugar in the skin is called aging. Sugar in the ovaries is called polycystic ovary syndrome. Sugar in the liver is called fatty liver, and sugar in your teeth is called cavities. My friend, sugar destroys your mind, your metabolism. It reprograms your body to get sick and, more importantly, addicted. And yet, it is almost in everything you eat. Let's break it down, and let's break this cycle down before it breaks you. I'm going to show you the worst high-carb foods killing your energy and keeping you from losing weight, and you're going to be blown away because, like I said earlier, it is in almost everything you eat. But before I do that, let me show you how we got into this mess. I'm not sure if you remember in the 80s, low fat, right? The low fat craze. We cut the fat, and guess what? People got fatter. Back in the late 70s and 80s, national guidelines told us to reduce total fat, especially saturated fat. Food companies jumped on it and produced a tidal wave of low-fat foods. Great idea, right? Not quite. When you pull fat out of food, you have to replace flavor with texture, something usually like refined starches and sugar. Think of Snackwell cookies, low-fat yogurts that were basically desserts. Even journalists and researchers later admitted that the low-fat era quietly morphed into a high-sugar era. And those low-fat, high-sugar products exploded, added sugar intake to everything, and my friend, sugar just simply skyrocketed. The USDA data shows that from 1970 to the early 2000s, sugar consumption per person rose dramatically. And right along it came obesity, heart disease, type 2 diabetes. Here's what's truly at stake if you don't make a change. You'll keep spiking insulin and storing fat. You'll stay tired even when you sleep well. You'll accelerate brain aging and inflammation. You'll teach your body to depend on sugar for fuel instead of burning fat. Every spoonful of sugar teaches your body to be addicted, and addiction always demands more. The truth is, fat was never the problem. Modern science and common sense both say the same thing. Your body needs fat. It's what builds hormones, nourishes your brain, and helps you absorb vitamins. Unsaturated fats from olive oil, avocados, nuts, and fish are protective. Even saturated fats, when consumed in balance, aren't the villains, but they were made out to be, most people thought that the villains were the fat, right? Everyone was saying, stay away from fat. But here's the twist. When we replaced those fats with refined carbs and sugar, we didn't just lose weight, we lost our health. Our energy crashed, our metabolism slowed, and the average person became insulin resistant before the age of 40. Sugar spikes your glucose. It raises insulin and pushes your body into fat storage mode. Then your blood sugar drops and you crave more. It's a vicious circle designed to keep you trapped. If you're ready to escape that cycle, click the link below and get your free strategy session, and where I'm gonna walk you through a ton of aspects that are gonna give you clarity around this whole situation, because I know it can be confusing and daunting. It's a simple, proven way to balance your metabolism, lower inflammation in your body, and finally burn fat the way your body was designed to. Sugar hides in healthy foods. Let me give you an example. Maybe you grew up with these little sugary round things, right? Remember how we used to have this before going to school in the morning, right? The Fruit Loops and the Lucky Charms. I don't know about you, but I was addicted to these things, and I couldn't understand why I always had a stomach ache when I would go to school. But it was all the sugar and spiking all of this insulin. How about the bananas that everyone tells us they're so incredibly healthy, right? And to an extent they can be, but if you're doing these in excess, this has glucose. It's gonna spike fructose, which is the sugar in fruit, and it also will get you in trouble with cravings. It'll light up your brain with that dependency for sugary things. How about orange juice, which, you know, we all say, oh, orange juice is healthy for breakfast. We see it at every breakfast table. I see a lot of kids drinking this stuff. This stuff is poison. This is straight sugar into your system, right? There's nothing worse than liquefying fruit. And some people will say, well, it's natural. It's naturally squeezed oranges. It doesn't matter. It lights your brain up and it creates dependency. How about the white rice, right? where's my white rice? Here's my white rice, right? How about the white rice, which everyone says it's just white rice. This stuff spikes insulin like nothing else, right? Wonder Bread. Your grandma probably made sandwiches with this. This is straight sugar. There's so much sugar in this. You probably get, just from eating a bag like this, let's say you eat this in a week, you probably get more sugar in that week than you need the entire year. How about the typical baguette, right? That we see in Europe, right? These are, if you go to Europe, especially I lived in Spain, you'll see the Spaniards at 12:30, 1 o'clock, crossing the street to go home to have lunch with one of these guys, right? Tons of sugar, it spikes a ton of insulin, and it'll get you in a ton of trouble, right? You eat these things and you think to yourself, well, you know, I'm eating normal foods. No one has ever come to our program and said, hey, I eat horrible. Most people say, I eat pretty well, right? JT, I'm eating yogurt. Isn't yogurt good for you, right? Isn't JT's in cereal, bananas, orange juice, white rice, Wonder Bread, baguette? Aren't these things healthy, JT? What about pasta, right? JT, I'm Italian, JT. I grew up eating pasta. This is normal. It's healthy for you. It's not. It's spiking a ton of insulin as well. And so you look at the pasta, you look at the potatoes, the milk. Remember you were told that if you had milk, this would make your bones strong? I don't know if they told me that when I was growing up. You have to drink milk so you can get that calcium, right? The sugary yogurts, these foods spike blood sugar. They crush your energy and keep you in fat storage mode all day long. So the question is this: if fat wasn't the problem, then what is the real solution? I think the first thing is to stop fearing fat and start fueling your body with the right things, right? You have to bring in good fats so you're fueling your metabolism. Here's the formula that works best. You eat protein first. Things like chicken, steak, fish, eggs, lean meats, right? Grass-fed meats is what you want to go for. You have non-starchy vegetables like broccoli, spinach. You can eat peppers, all colored peppers. Healthy fats like olive oil, avocados, nuts, salmon. You can have slow digesting carbs in moderation, things such as sweet potatoes, brown rice, quinoa, couscous, legumes like lentils, beans. All these things are what we call slow digesting carbs because you don't get a peak and a trough, but instead it keeps your insulin levels pretty balanced out. This balance keeps insulin low, supports steady energy, and unlocks your body's ability to burn stored fat. And here's the best part. Once your metabolism switches to burning fat for fuel, you gain freedom. You no longer have to stress about a flex meal here or there, or as some people call it, a cheat meal. You can enjoy food again without guilt or obsession. Here are 3 things you can do right now, right? Ditch all of the sugar. By the way, including this junk that people give away for Halloween. This is poison. Don't give your kids these things. I know you probably think I'm being extreme here, but this stuff is poison and it's addictive, right? And we start our little ones at a very young age. We start indoctrinating them with these kinds of foods. Guess what? An overweight kid becomes an overweight adult. So let's ditch all of the sugar, the juice, the soda, the energy drinks, and add lean proteins to every meal. Replace one processed snack with veggies, fresh fruit, things like blueberries, blackberries, strawberries. These things are good for us, right? Dark pigmented fruit is one of the best things that you can bring in, right? These are power foods. They light your body up with nutrient density. You'll notice the difference within a couple of weeks: more focus, less cravings, better sleep. And if you're serious about transforming your health from the inside out, click the link below to get your free strategy call. I know this can be a little overwhelming, and so I put a link down below so that we can connect one-on-one, because our 90-day transformation program includes incredible things: a customized nutrition blueprint, biblical mindset coaching, professional hyper accountability. We touch base with you on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday to keep you accountable, answer your questions. These are real results that last without counting macros, calories, or points, because let's face it, who has the time to do that? This isn't a diet, it's a lifestyle of discipline, stewardship, and freedom. More importantly, we're gonna give you a blueprint so that discipline and self-control becomes second nature and you don't have to exert a ton of energy in order to stay on track with the plan. Guys, I want to say this from the bottom of my heart: your family and those around you deserve the best version of you. Don't wait for a bad doctor's report in order to take action. Start today. A wise man once said that a good man leaves an inheritance for his kids' kids. Leave a legacy of health and well-being for those you love. Let's build health in a way where it creates legacy. Let's do this together. Also, check out this video in where I go more in depth about how to get freedom around food. Thank you for watching. May the Lord bless you and keep you until the next time.